And we're ready to look at what the stories are front and back pages of the various newspapers. We have to start with the Daily Graphic, which has on the front page, reverse remission for Muntie Trail. And we have lawyer asking or praying the Supreme Court. And Justice Derry threatens to drag GJ to court for contempt. Graphic engages political parties in Sunyani tomorrow. And 3 arrested for attack on Forex Bureau. Well, the graphic says it's 99 days more. Yesterday they put same there, but I think it's 98 because the website of the Electoral Commission states that it's 98. Looks like Joyne's were correct after all. Just some thumbs up for us. But let's look at this. Wa fruit juice factory to reopen in October, we're told. And we featured this very story prominently on our news earlier. Now, let's look at the front page of the Ghanaian Times. We have stories. Police grab 4 robbers after they raided Forex Bureau restaurant and a taxi driver. Lawyer also files suit against Muntie 3 remission. 4 prisoners pass WASI. Very good news. At least when they come out, they can pursue higher education or even can pursue higher education from the prisons. That is if they want to do some correspondence for their undergraduate. We also have TRB Foundation providing boreholes for 18 communities, and Akachi District increases access to potable water, or what we call safe water as well. Front page of the Daily Guide has a story. NDC wants me dead. Nana replies cancer claim. We know that there was a publication in the African Watch magazine, but seems to have incurred the wrath of the leadership as well as the flag bearer of the MPP with accusations flying helter-skelter that this is being spearheaded allegedly by the NDC or the publication, really. We have EC office bent down, and we'll have cop robbers named police accomplice, and those are the stories we have. Front page of the Daily Guide. But on the front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper, 3 years after election petition, perspectives and its impact. You just have to read this very story. I was reading a bit of it. Very interesting story. It is front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The front page of the Finder has a story, 25.2 billion Ghana cedis more loan planned from August to December. And then we have 1 billion euro bond also in the offing. We have Ghana gas plant to be shut 10 days for maintenance, and NDC claims ownership of One Village, One Dam project. We have election petition proved I'm a leader, Nana Addo. And the last paper we're looking at is the Business and Financial Times. It says BNFT adjudged Business Newspaper of the Year, and 5-year bond to tame CD pressure. New airline to fly by October, and then we have Apex Bank cautions rural banks against non-compliance. But we have IMF report expected in today, and more effort needed to improve cocoa yields, we're told. So those are the stories we have pretty much on the front pages. Now, we have to look at what stories there are on the various online portals, and we have to go to MyJoy Online. And on the front page, or on the main page or the home page, we have a few temporary Ghanaians warned. Elizabeth Ohene having her publication or opinion published in the portal myjoyonline.com. Mailed spiritual support for BitMe to comment on health of President Kwaku Anyidoho, and again reacting that the NDC is not behind the publication by Africa Watch magazine as being alleged by the MPP. Sports Minister adamant there's no cash for Black Stars qualify against Rwanda, and we have an interview with him, so you can just make sure you stay tuned for after the next 40 minutes or so. We should be able to bring you that very story. But we'll be having in the studio also a representative of the Ghana Football Association to help us do the discussions lengthily on this very saga, whether it could also affect football fortunes going forward. Muntie 3 could head back to prison if And it says 3 contemners enjoying the air of freedom following a presidential intervention or remission may be heading back to prison if a case challenging the president's power of remission is upheld by the court. Next story, we have most banks see mobile money as a threat. PricewaterhouseCoopers Ghana Banking Survey. I read a lot, I think, a chunk of that very report. You go onto the site, myjoyonline.com, you have the full reports there, and when you read it, and we kept commenting about it, that the mobile money phenomenon is really coming up, and the commercial banks better be ready because they could be overtaken by events. I hope they are not, though. They're always ahead of the competition, as it is. Adan Tutupi residents appealed to government for potable water. Next story. We also have government to raise 25 billion Ghana cedis for the rest of 2016. It's a story that has been called from the Finder newspaper. I'm sure the finance minister will be speaking to it. Ituabo Gas to shut down for 10 days, and we're being told that is to shut down for periodic maintenance works. We're told it's very necessary as it is. But let's go to City FM Online, and we look at some other stories on City FM Online. And it says repatriated female pilgrims to land very soon, or to be sent back to Saudi Arabia Tuesday. But we have one dam, one village simply means irrigation systems for villages, according to the spokesperson for the flag bearer of the MPP, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Mustafa Hamid. And biomedical lab scientists call off strike, but I don't know the reason for MP's recall. That's minority leader. And we mentioned this already. They called off their strike action. But you go up, you see other stories. Nana Addo's campaign tour hits Northern Region, and court to rule on biomedical scientist strike on Tuesday, but they've already called it off. And they have other highlights or tidbits there. News motto. Now let's go to the BBC Africa page. On the Africa page of the BBC, there's thousands of migrants rescued off the coast of Libya, and it sums up the numbers to be 6,500 migrants, thereabouts, as being rescued in a series of about 40 coordinated operations off the coast of Libya. And we know that Libya and where it's located always a platform or an avenue for a lot more of the migrants from sub-Saharan Africa to cross the Mediterranean and get to the coast of Italy through Lampedusa, or sometimes go through Italy to Spain, to Portugal, etc. So you find a lot of these migrants taking the risk, as you can find in this very picture displayed here, some of them even to the point of drowning to death, but they still would want to cross to Europe. It's all for greener pastures. And then we have other stories. The SA minister backs racist rules protests, and a South African minister throws his support behind protesting female students in Iran over an alleged racist hair policy at a prestigious high school. Very interesting. Very interesting. And let's click on this story and see whether we can get a lot more out of it. And the story basically is about a South African minister throwing his support behind the protesting females. And so black pupils at the private school Pretoria Girls High said they had often been told to straighten their hair. And schools should not be used as a platform to discourage students from embracing their African identity. It means that you can't put on braids, etc. there. And it's raised racial tensions in South Africa currently. South Africa, we know, had been under decades or years of apartheid until they got independence some time back, and now they have a mixed population, very much interlinked, but there are still snippets or sometimes undertones and underpinnings of racial tension in that country. Well, those are the stories we'll look at as far as we're concerned for the various news or online portals. But we have a lot more sports stories for you. The latest on Asamoah Gyan, the Black Stars, and our players who are performing or not performing international is up next, because we know the international window is from over the weekend.